Hello to all my parents and adults of my students. Welcome. I'm Miss Wachter. I am going to be the Earth Science teacher for 8th grade. I'm going to take a few moments to go over what my course is going to entail throughout the year. I'm going to talk a little bit about my syllabus, maybe some grading practices, and then I might go over just a few tips and tricks for this course. So like I said, I'm teaching the Earth Science. My name is Miss Wachter. We're going to have 4 major units in our Earth Science course. They have 4 units, but they'll also have some subunits with them. So our first one's going to be matter. That's going to talk about some properties of matter and some physical and chemical changes. Next, we're going to have our geology unit. That kind of talks about our minerals, rock cycle, and plate tectonics. Astronomy, we'll get into the seasons, our solar system, and the moon phases. And then lastly, we'll get into meteorology, which I think is one of my favorites to talk about, and it's about the atmosphere and weather and climate and the water cycle. So we've got a lot of fun things ahead of us for this year. My grading I wanted to touch on. We give letter grades. We don't give points because we want students to focus more on what they know and what they can do and not get so caught up in like each little point that they get. So letter grades are a great way of showing this. We have a weighted assessment and assignments. So our assessments are 80% of the grade while our assignments are 20%. I like to think of assignments as that practice work and that assessment as showing what you know. So that's how I kind of explain it to my students. A very important thing is that there is no penalty for late work. I care way more about what each student knows than them knowing it in a certain amount of time. So if a student ever needs extra time on something, that is perfectly okay. While I do have due dates in Google Classroom, there's no penalty for turning those in late. Another important thing is retakes on summative assessments. So that assessment part, that's like what each student knows. That's that 80% of the grade. We always allow retakes. So if a student does not show a proficiency, which is a B, they can retake to get up to a B. So if they have a B or an A, it shows that they're proficient and there's no need for a retake. But anything less than that, we definitely encourage retaking. So in order to retake, all practice work must be complete and all relearning before the retaking the assessment must be complete, and that will look differently for each assessment. So when I say be proficient, this is a really great tool to kind of understand what those letter grades mean. D is that kind of beginning place. Students will probably have a minimal understanding of the content. C is that developing phase. They'll have a general understanding but may still be kind of confused about some parts, which is totally fine. Well, that's definitely progress as we go. And then B is that proficient, so they understand the important parts of the content and the skills and things like that. But A is exceeding that, so they understand the content and skills completely, but then they can also explain them in detail. So one little tip trick I want to get into is my course calendar. It's linked at the very top of my Google Classroom. I'm going to just take a moment to go to that. So I'm going to use my period 3 as an example. Each student will have access to my Google Classroom. At the very top of their classwork tab, there is the course calendar, and if you click on that, it kind of goes to my overall course calendar, and each one of these is linked to my daily agenda. So students should already kind of have that down, but just for your understanding, you can click on any one of these and it will take you to my daily agenda for the day. I have one pulled up right here. Another important thing I want to point out is that I always have numbers and titles for my graded assignments, and that is going to be the exact same as what you see in your parent view. So if a student is missing something or if they have a question on something, you'll know exactly what assignment because they're all titled the same in Google Classroom, in my agenda, and in parent view, and in the grade book. So that is one thing that I just wanted to cover really quick. The next, last thing probably is how to contact me. So if you ever have a question or your student has a concern, please feel free to reach out to me. Email is always a very efficient way to do it. There's my email, which is also in the syllabus or on my teacher website. I have my website here as well. and then also the phone for my room. So if you ever need to contact me, let me know. I think that's all I need. So let me know if you have any questions.